Nothing is changing in your life right now, and that truth is frustrating in a way only you can understand. You wake up with plans, goals, and ideas about the person you want to become, yet weeks pass and everything still feels the same. The same habits continue controlling your days. The same excuses keep appearing at the right moment. The same stress follows you into each morning. The same version of you repeats the same routine while hoping for a different result. You may think life is holding you back, but often the real reason is much closer than you realize. Most people say they want change, but very few are truly willing to create it. They wait for motivation to suddenly appear. They wait for better timing, more confidence, less stress, or the perfect opportunity. They believe that one day circumstances will align, and then they will finally become focused, disciplined, productive, and successful. But life rarely works that way. Change does not arrive first and then improve you. You improve first, and then life begins to respond to the person you are becoming. The reason nothing is changing is not always because something dramatic is wrong. Sometimes it is because small things are wrong every single day. Small delays that waste hours. Small distractions that steal focus. Small broken promises you make to yourself and ignore. Small moments where comfort wins over growth. These things seem harmless in the moment because they are small enough to excuse. But repeated daily, they quietly shape your future. Many people imagine change as one big moment. A new year, a new city, a new job, a powerful burst of motivation, a lucky opportunity. But real transformation rarely happens through dramatic moments. It usually happens through ordinary decisions repeated consistently. Waking up when you said you would, doing the hard task first instead of delaying it, keeping your word to yourself even when no one is watching, reading when others scroll, practicing when others complain, choosing discipline in private so success can appear in public. If nothing is changing, then something is repeating. That is the truth most people avoid because repetition feels normal. You stop noticing the patterns that are keeping you stuck because they have become familiar. Your current life is being maintained by habits, routines, and choices that you may no longer question. Until those patterns change, your results will remain the same no matter how badly you want something different. This message is not here to discourage you. It is here to wake you up. Because if your life has been built through patterns, then it can also be rebuilt through new patterns. If your habits created stagnation, new habits can create momentum. If your choices kept you stuck, better choices can move you forward. Nothing is changing right now because something inside your daily life needs to change first. And the most powerful part of that truth is this: the power to begin has been in your hands the whole time. You keep waiting instead of starting. One of the biggest reasons nothing is changing in your life right now is because you keep waiting instead of starting. Waiting is one of the most dangerous habits because it often looks harmless. It feels responsible. It feels logical. It sounds like patience. But many times, waiting is simply fear wearing a smarter disguise. People wait for motivation before taking action. They wait for confidence before trying something new. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, the perfect mood, or the perfect opportunity. They tell themselves that once everything feels right, they will finally begin. But the truth is that life rarely becomes perfect enough to satisfy a waiting mindset. There will always be some problem, some uncertainty, some discomfort, and some reason to delay. Waiting creates the illusion that progress is coming soon. It makes you feel like action is near, even when nothing is actually happening. You say you will start next week, next month, after stress is gone, after things calm down, after you feel ready. But soon next week becomes next month becomes next year, and years quietly disappear while your potential stays untouched. Most people do not realize that readiness is often created through action, not before it. Confidence does not usually come first. Skill does not come first. Clarity does not come first. These things grow after you begin. The person who starts messy learns faster than the person who keeps planning perfectly. The person who moves uncertainly gains more momentum than the person who waits for certainty. Think about how many goals stay unfinished because of waiting. Fitness goals are delayed until Monday. Business ideas are delayed until more money appears. Study plans are delayed until motivation returns. Important conversations are delayed until emotions feel easier. In every case, waiting feels justified, but the real cost is hidden in lost time. Starting is uncomfortable because it forces you to face imperfection. The first workout feels hard. The first page feels slow. The first attempt feels awkward. The first step often looks small and unimpressive. But small beginnings are how real change starts. Every strong body, successful career, valuable skill, and disciplined life began with a first imperfect action. When you wait too long, something dangerous happens. You begin identifying as someone who wants to instead of someone who does. You become a person full of intentions but empty of movement. Dreams remain exciting in the mind but absent in reality. That gap creates frustration, guilt, and the feeling that life is not changing. The solution is simple but uncomfortable. Stop asking if you feel ready. Ask if you are willing to begin. Stop demanding perfect conditions. Use the conditions you have. Stop measuring the size of the first step. Just take it. Momentum is built after movement begins. Clarity is found while working. Confidence grows through repetition. Energy increases when action replaces delay. Nothing is changing because waiting has become your routine. The moment you replace waiting with starting, life begins to move again. Even a small action today has more power than a perfect plan postponed for another year. Your habits are protecting the old life. Another major reason nothing is changing in your life right now is because your habits are protecting the old version of your life. Many people say they want something new, but they continue living through the same routines that created their current results. They want progress, but their habits are designed for comfort. They want growth, but their behavior keeps defending the life they claim they want to escape. Habits are powerful because they work quietly. You do not notice them shaping your future each day because they often feel normal and automatic. Waking up late feels small. Scrolling your phone for an hour feels harmless. Avoiding difficult tasks feels temporary. Skipping learning for one day feels unimportant. But habits do not judge moments individually. They collect patterns over time. What feels small today becomes your lifestyle tomorrow. Every habit is a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. When you repeatedly choose distraction, you become more distracted. When you repeatedly choose comfort, discomfort becomes harder to handle. When you repeatedly avoid discipline, discipline starts feeling unnatural. In the same way, repeated focus builds concentration, repeated effort builds resilience, and repeated consistency builds trust in yourself. The reason habits are so dangerous is because they often keep you busy while keeping you stuck. You may feel occupied all day, yet nothing meaningful moves forward. You respond to notifications, waste time in low-value tasks, and move through routines without intention. At the end of the day, you feel tired, but not fulfilled, active, but not progressing. This is the trap of unconscious habits. Many people try to change their life through motivation while ignoring systems. They feel inspired for a day, then fall back into the same patterns. That happens because motivation can create a spark, but habits control the direction of your days. If your system is weak, your temporary excitement cannot carry you far. Look honestly at your current routine. The results in your life are not random. They are connected to what you repeatedly do. Your energy reflects your sleep habits. Your focus reflects your attention habits. Your finances reflect your spending habits. Your confidence reflects whether you keep promises to yourself. Your future is hiding inside your routine. Changing habits does not require dramatic transformation overnight. It begins with replacing small behaviors consistently. Wake up a little earlier. Reduce one major distraction. Finish one hard task before entertainment. Read 10 pages daily. Exercise for 20 minutes. Prepare. Tomorrow tonight. These actions look small, but repeated consistently, they begin rewriting identity. There will be resistance because old habits protect familiarity. Even painful routines can feel comfortable because they are known. The mind often prefers familiar struggle over unfamiliar growth. That is why change feels uncomfortable at first. You are not failing when it feels hard. You are breaking patterns. Nothing is changing because your daily habits keep recreating the same life. If you want new results, you need routines that support a new future. Motivation may inspire you for a moment, but habits decide what happens over years. When your habits change, your days change. When your days change, your life eventually follows. You are avoiding discomfort, so growth avoids you. Another deep reason nothing is changing in your life right now is because you are avoiding discomfort. This is one of the most common human habits, and it often happens without awareness. People naturally move toward what feels easy and away from what feels difficult. The problem is that growth is usually hidden inside discomfort, while stagnation is hidden inside comfort. So when you spend your life avoiding discomfort, you also spend your life avoiding the very experiences that could transform you. Discomfort appears in many forms. It is waking up early when the bed feels warm. It is exercising when your body feels tired. It is studying when entertainment is available. It is having difficult conversations instead of staying silent. It is starting something new while feeling insecure. It is staying consistent when results are still invisible. None of these moments feel pleasant in the beginning, but they often lead to progress. Most people do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because they are too loyal to comfort. They choose what feels good now instead of what builds something better later. They delay hard tasks because they feel stressful. They avoid learning because it feels mentally demanding. They escape responsibility because it feels heavy. In the moment, comfort feels like relief. But over time, comfort becomes a cage. The dangerous part of comfort is that it rarely looks harmful today. Sleeping in 1 extra hour seems small. Skipping one workout seems harmless. Delaying one important task seems reasonable. Avoiding one uncomfortable truth seems easier. But repeated often enough, these small escapes build a life of weakness, regret, and lost potential. Discomfort, on the other hand, often looks negative at first, but becomes valuable later. The workout feels hard now, but builds strength later. The discipline feels restrictive now, but creates freedom later. The difficult conversation feels awkward now, but creates clarity later. The study session feels tiring now, but creates an opportunity later. This is why wise people learn to judge actions by long-term effect, not short-term feeling. If you constantly choose what feels easiest in the moment, your future pays the price. If you choose what builds you, your present may feel harder, but your future becomes stronger. That is the real trade most people ignore. Growth also requires emotional discomfort. You may need to admit mistakes, accept responsibility, face rejection, or begin again after failure. These moments challenge pride and ego, so many people avoid them. But maturity is built when you can face uncomfortable truths without running from them. The solution is not to hate comfort or seek pain for no reason. The solution is to stop letting temporary feelings control permanent outcomes. Learn to tolerate the discomfort that leads somewhere meaningful. Build the ability to do what matters even when it does not feel pleasant. Nothing is changing because comfort keeps deciding for you. Each day it chooses rest over effort, distraction over focus, delay over action, and ease over growth. But the moment you start choosing purposeful discomfort, everything begins to shift. Growth has always been available to you. It was simply waiting on the other side of the discomfort you keep avoiding. You keep breaking trust with yourself. Another powerful reason nothing is changing in your life right now is because you keep breaking trust with yourself. Most people think confidence comes from motivation, talent, or praise from others. But real confidence is built in a much quieter way. It grows when you trust yourself. It grows when your mind knows that when you say you will do something, you actually do it. When that trust is broken repeatedly, progress becomes difficult because even you stop believing in yourself. Every promise you make to yourself matters. Saying you will wake up early and then sleeping late matters. Saying you will start today and then delaying it matters. Saying you will stop wasting time and then repeating the same habits matters. These moments may seem small, but each broken promise sends a message to your mind. That message says your words do not carry weight. Over time, your own mind starts doubting your intentions. This is why many people feel frustrated. They have goals, plans, and dreams, yet something inside feels weak. The weakness is not always lack of intelligence or opportunity. Often it is damaged self-trust. They have trained themselves to speak with ambition, but act with inconsistency. The gap between what they say and what they do becomes larger every month. When self-trust is low, even simple goals feel heavy. You tell yourself you will be disciplined, but part of you does not believe it. You create plans, but your mind remembers all the times previous plans were abandoned. You want to change, but your past behavior keeps whispering that you probably will not follow through. This creates hesitation, doubt, and emotional fatigue. The good news is that self-trust can be rebuilt the same way it was broken, through repeated actions, not through big speeches, not through temporary motivation, and not through imagining a new future. It is rebuilt by keeping small promises consistently. Wake up when you said you would. Finish the task you planned. Keep one commitment even when you do not feel like it. Do the boring thing because you said you would do it. Small kept promises create inner strength. Each time you follow through, your mind receives a different message. It says you can be relied on. It says your decisions mean something. It says action follows intention. This slowly rebuilds confidence at the deepest level. Many people make the mistake of setting huge goals while having weak self-trust. They promise dramatic change overnight, then fail again, and the cycle worsens. Instead, start smaller than your ego wants. Choose goals that are realistic and repeatable. Consistency matters more than intensity in the beginning. Trust also grows when you stop lying to yourself. If you wasted time, admit it. If you were lazy, admit it. If fear stopped you, admit it. Honest awareness prevents repeated self-betrayal. Nothing is changing because you keep depending on a version of yourself that you have not trained to be dependable. Build that version slowly. Keep your word in small moments. Respect your own commitments. When you trust yourself again, discipline becomes easier, action becomes more natural, and change stops feeling impossible. Your life often rises when your self-trust rises first. You want results without becoming the person who earns them. Another reason nothing is changing in your life right now is because you want results without becoming the person who earns those results. This is one of the most common hidden contradictions in human behavior. People want success, peace, discipline, confidence, respect, financial stability, and a better future, but they often resist the habits, mindset, and responsibilities required to create those things. They desire the reward while avoiding the transformation. Everyone wants visible outcomes. People want the strong body, but not the repeated workouts. They want money, but not the patience, skill building, and consistency that usually create it. They want confidence, but not the uncomfortable actions that build confidence. They want respect, but not the integrity and discipline that earn it. They want a better life, but not the daily effort needed to become better themselves. The truth is that results are usually side effects of identity. Success often follows the person you become. If you become focused, opportunities increase. If you become reliable, trust grows. If you become disciplined, progress becomes natural. If you become emotionally stronger, challenges stop controlling you as easily. Many people chase outcomes directly, while ignoring the character that produces them. This is why temporary motivation often fails. Motivation makes you want the reward intensely for a short time. But if your identity remains unchanged, old behavior returns. You may feel inspired for a few days, then slip back into distraction, laziness, avoidance, and inconsistency. The desire was real, but the identity was unchanged. Ask yourself honestly, do you want the result, or do you want to become the kind of person who can maintain the result? There is a big difference. Many people want wealth but would misuse it. Many want success but cannot yet handle the discipline success demands. Many want peace but continue feeding chaos through their habits. Life often withholds certain results until you are ready to carry them responsibly. A stronger body requires a stronger routine. Better relationships require emotional maturity. Bigger opportunities require higher competence. Greater freedom requires greater self-control. The reward and the required growth are connected. This means your real work is not chasing outcomes every day. Your real work is building identity every day. Become someone who keeps promises. Become someone who finishes what he starts. Become someone who can focus when bored, work when tired, and stay steady when challenged. Become someone whose habits match his goals. Identity grows through repetition. Each disciplined action is evidence. Each honest decision is evidence. Each time you choose growth over comfort, You cast another vote for the person you are becoming. Nothing is changing because you keep wishing for a future that belongs to a different version of you. That future is not blocked by luck. It is waiting for alignment between what you want and who you are becoming. When you stop chasing results alone and start building the person capable of producing them, life begins to move. Outcomes become less mysterious because they now have a foundation. Change starts when you become the person your goals require. Nothing is changing in your life right now, not because life has stopped you, not because opportunities are missing, and not because you are unlucky. It is because something within your daily patterns, mindset, and actions has stayed the same for too long. Change does not fail to come from the outside. Change fails to appear when nothing inside you changes first. When you look closely at everything discussed, one truth connects all parts. Waiting keeps you stuck. Habits keep you stuck. Avoidance of discomfort keeps you stuck. Broken self-trust keeps you stuck. And the desire for results without identity change keeps you stuck. These are not separate problems. They are different expressions of the same core issue. A gap between who you are today and who you need to become to move forward. The hardest part of growth is not understanding what is wrong. Most people already know, at some level, what they are avoiding. The hardest part is accepting responsibility for change without excuses, because responsibility removes comfort. It removes blame. It removes the idea that someone else will fix your situation. But at the same time, responsibility gives you something far more powerful. It gives you control. The moment you stop blaming life, you stop giving your power away. The moment you stop waiting for perfect conditions, you begin working with reality. The moment you stop negotiating with excuses, you start building discipline. The moment you stop avoiding discomfort, you start growing. And the moment you start keeping promises to yourself, you rebuild self-trust. All of these shifts may look small individually, but together they completely transform direction. Nothing in life changes instantly, but everything in life changes gradually. The life you see around you today is not the result of one decision. It is the result of repeated patterns over time. That means your future will also not change in one moment. It will change through repeated new patterns that you choose starting today. You do not need a perfect version of yourself to begin. You do not need complete motivation. You do not need ideal circumstances. You only need honesty and willingness. Honesty about what is not working, and willingness to stop repeating it. Every small decision matters more than it appears. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you are shifting direction. Every time you take responsibility instead of blaming life, you are regaining control. Every time you act when you do not feel like it, you are building strength. These small moments accumulate into a completely different life. The truth is simple, even if it is not always easy. Your life will not change until your behavior changes. And your behavior will not change until your mindset changes. And your mindset will not change until you decide that staying the same is no longer acceptable. So instead of waiting for life to change, start changing how you live within life. Start small, but start honestly. Start imperfectly, but start consistently. Because the future you want is not far away. It is simply on the other side of the changes you keep postponing. And once you finally stop repeating the old cycle, you will realize something powerful. Nothing was ever truly stopping you, except the version of you that you refuse to leave behind.